Good morning, Kentuckiana. It is 7 o'clock on your Sunday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Gabriel Gonzalez. If you haven't been outside yet, not very different from what we've been feeling for these past kind of about 2 weeks now, hot and muggy. But here to give you a little bit more in-depth look at your forecast, meteorologist Nicole Hartford. Good morning, Nicole. I kind of said everything for you, didn't I?
A little bit, but we've got changes coming. We've got a different weather pattern kind of working its way into our area that includes a little bit less heat and a little bit more rainfall that we'll kind of gradually ease our way into as we move into this upcoming week. That means the heat and the humidity, at least for today, are not going anywhere. Currently, it's a beautiful view as we look over the Louisville Metro. You can see some cloud cover out there, but peaks of sunshine as well. A mix of sunshine and cloud cover is really what's in the forecast for today. So it's going to allow us to warm up pretty quickly, and it's already a mild start. We're still at 80 degrees right now in Louisville, but when you factor in the humidity, it actually feels like 84. Out at Bowman Field, it's a little bit milder, coming out at 76 degrees. We've got nice calm winds. Again, the higher humidity that I'm sure you feel. The humidity is not going anywhere, but the heat will start to get a little less intense as we reintroduce those rain chances, especially come Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, current temperatures in Louisville are right around 80, but we're a little bit milder outside the city. Most spots are starting off the day in the low to maybe mid 70s with a couple upper 60s as well. On our satellite radar, we're dry, but as you go out towards the west, we're tracking these very spotty showers that are already starting to develop through portions of Missouri as well as Illinois. These are going to be moving eastward, reintroducing the possibility of a couple spotty showers by the end of the day today. Vast majority of us, though, will stay dry as temperatures quickly warm up. Highs this afternoon will get up into the low to even near the mid 90s. So it is going to be a day of heat. Keep in mind with humidity, it will likely feel a few degrees hotter. So feels like temperatures will actually be mainly in the low to mid 90s, even the upper 90s in some spots. Today is kind of the peak of our heat wave, though. Our rain chances are on the rise as we move into this week. Gabe?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Nicole. Now to the deadly flooding in south central Texas. Dozens of people have died and more than 24 others are still missing. Many of them are from an all-girls summer camp called Camp Mystic. Right now, first responders are battling treacherous conditions as they search for the missing flood victims after the Guadalupe River reached 26 feet in less than an hour, the second highest level ever. 100 miles to the east, at least 2 deaths are linked to major flooding in Travis County, which is in the Austin area. On Saturday, the San Gabriel River also overflowed. Flash floods there prompted evacuations in Georgetown and Williamson County. The White House says it's monitoring the situation.
The federal government needs to be here for the support and extra resources on the ground as well, and that is what we are doing.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem speaking right there, also saying the Trump administration would approve a federal disaster declaration for Texas. Well, we have an update here in Louisville on Saturday's deadly motorcycle crash. The 19-year-old killed in that crash was identified as Tyler Hightower. It happened just before 2:30 yesterday afternoon on I-64 West at the Grinston Drive exit. When LMPD officers arrived, they found only one motorcycle in the area. Hightower died at the scene. Lanes on I-64 were reopened 2 hours after that crash. You saw it here first on GMK Saturday morning. Parts of Broadway Street were blocked off for hours, and people were asked to avoid the area after a small train derailed in West Louisville. It happened at the Broadway and the 13th Street overpass. WHAS 11's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Aspen Hester heard from people as cleanup was underway.
An early morning trail derailment in West Louisville.
I know that sounds very scary, but it is not as severe as it could have been.
No one was hurt, but the derailment caused officials to close Broadway from 13th to 15th Streets for almost 12 hours.
And basically, we had several cars that have either tipped or rolled off the tracks.
What is of concern for officials is what's inside of what the train was pulling. while some tanks are labeled liquefied petroleum gas, which is a mixture of hydrocarbon gases, mostly propane and butane, a potentially hazardous material.
Chemical spills from trains could be a health hazard for the people who live in that community.
Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill says there are no hazardous materials, but concerns still rise for some people in Shepherd Park, 2 blocks from the area.
You should be more cautious. Without caution, that's just how you end up getting dead, to be quite honest.
In the West End, we're already dealing with a whole lot in terms of environmental hazards.
Chief O'Neill says those tanks are possibly empty and don't have any leaks or punctures, but officials continue to monitor the cleanup process.
The fact that it's on a bridge is the worst part about it.
For train enthusiasts, Fox Overture and Jack's Rhapsody, seeing video of the train being worked on, they have a theory of what went wrong.
It seems like the tracks are warped, and that was the main issue of why it
A
derailed.
problem they say could be avoided with maintenance.
So we're fortunate no hurt, and we'll continue to monitor the situation to make sure that there's no risk to neighbors and residents.
The city grateful for a situation that could have been much worse. Off Broadway, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 on your side.
Broadway and 15th Street was reopened by 8:30 last night, but the entrance to 13th Street from Broadway remained blocked off as work continued. A shooting in Indianapolis has left at least 2 dead and several others injured this 4th of July weekend. Indianapolis Metro Police say it happened just after 1 o'clock Saturday morning. Officers say they were investigating a disturbance when they learned of a separate disturbance. Officers heard gunshots and arrived to find multiple people injured. Several people were taken into the hospital. A 15-year-old boy died later at the hospital. A 16-year-old boy died at the scene. The Indianapolis Metro Police Chief Chris Bailey shared frustration over the latest acts of violence in the city.
And I gotta be honest, I'm tired of it. You should be tired of it. This is not our job to do this. It's unnecessary. You don't have to act like this.
Officers recovered several guns at the scene and were able to detain 7 people for questioning. It is not clear if they had any involvement, but police have not released any information on a suspect. Back here in Louisville, the man who was hit and killed by a car earlier this week was identified as 20-year-old Montez Brandon. On Wednesday, July 2nd, around 7:30, LMPD responded to reports of a person hit by a car at Fern Valley Road and Shepherdsville Road in southern Jefferson County. There, they found Brandon injured. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. The driver did remain at the scene and gave a statement. So far, the driver is not facing any charges. The Parking Authority of River City, or PARC, has proposed adding 328 more metered parking spots along Bardstown Road. A study conducted by PARC in 2023 found that metered parking frees up parking spaces around businesses, creating higher turnover and helping business owners. The added metered parking spots would bring in an estimated $285,000 annually. That revenue would go back to PARC for programs and equipment. PARC has said the study findings were shared with each of the stakeholder groups representing Bardstown Road to discuss the next steps for that proposal.